Welcome into the Gridiron Grind. Back for another week. It's Creta 3 and Jimmy G. And Jimmy, it is officially the Gridiron Grind Bowl. It is here.
Right.
We are back. Now that Texas and Arkansas are back in the same conference, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to play each other every year. And it's Texas Arkansas week, the Gridiron Grind Bowl. And it's going to be a great show. First, like we always do, let's start recapping last week. We had a couple big games. Ole Miss over Georgia, and it really wasn't close. And Alabama over LSU, and it was never close.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think, Ole Miss, Georgia? Ole Miss really put it to Georgia last week.
You know, this is the Ole Miss offense that, like I said, after the Arkansas game, that they had all year, and it just went dormant, and now it's back at the right time, and they are looking like that team that dark horse maybe to win it all. I mean, if their offense is clicking like that, I mean, who stops Oregon? I mean, Oregon looks like they could match wits with them, and Georgia was arguably the best defense in the country. And golly, man, that was like you said, that was kind of a bad look for the dogs.
Yeah, to me, Ole Miss looked like a team that could win it all. I mean, that's how good they looked, I thought. I was impressed by Ole Miss. I knew their defense was really good, and their offense hadn't been as good in conference. Now, 2 weeks ago, they looked good against Arkansas, and they built on that, looked good against Georgia. Georgia didn't have answers for Ole Miss on offense. And the Georgia's offense is just lost. That Ole Miss defense is good, but Ole Miss looks like a team now. I mean, the top of the SEC is just littered with two-loss teams. Yeah, I mean, Texas and Tennessee each have one loss. A&M has two losses overall, just one loss in conference. And then you got teams like Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia, Missouri still has two losses, but they're not any good. The top of the SEC is just littered with just some tough two-loss teams.
Yeah, and then you've got teams, not trying to be biased, but then you have a team like Arkansas, Missouri, if they ever got it together. You've got some of the middle to bottom half teams that South Carolina that you're going, oh crap, like these teams. I mean, Vanderbilt, right? Vanderbilt is we'll call it middle upper, right, of the SEC as far as
they already beat Alabama.
You would want to play them. I'm going to see even the kind of the SEC, from top to bottom minus Mississippi State. I'm going, golly, man, and Kentucky. Some of these teams you wouldn't really want to play, even with like I said, Missouri. The Missouri game, Missouri every week playing them would kind of make me nervous because you would have to. I mean, look what they did to OU. They come back on OU, win that game, and
OU, gosh, that was to make a bowl. That was your game to make a bowl. OU now finishes, I think, with Alabama and LSU. That was your chance to make a bowl, and you just blew it.
Yeah.
OU just blew it.
Terrible. 45 seconds to go. They allow a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then first play in overtime. Well, first possession, sack, fumble, scoop and score. Missouri wins.
Yeah, unbelievable if you're an OU fan.
Yeah.
And then Bama rolls LSU. LSU, holy cow! I mean, they'll look good like Ole Miss against Ole Miss. But then they'll just crap the bed like against Alabama at home. Didn't see that coming. I thought that would have been a good game. Alabama's might be pretty good too. They got the loss to Vanderbilt and Tennessee, but they've looked good against everybody else. They had a close one against South Carolina, but South Carolina's good. I wouldn't want to play South Carolina right now.
No, I wouldn't want to play South Carolina. I wouldn't want to play an Alabama team that, people are talking smack about, underachieving first year without like I said, other than Mississippi State, I don't know if there's a team in the SEC, maybe Kentucky, but even then that's really pushing.
I'd put those
Auburn.
three. Mississippi State, Kentucky, Auburn. They're just not good.
Yeah, you might want to play them week in, week out. Other than that, you do not want to have to play anyone.
Honestly, I might put OU in that they're close to in that category.
Yeah.
They struggle on offense.
They go from one of the best offensive teams in the past decade. I mean, golly, what, 2 Heisman Trophy winners to
Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and then Jalen Hurts was a finalist.
3, yeah, and just none. Just no.
Caleb Williams didn't win it at OU, but he was at OU.
Right. So, I mean, you could argue him, but Yeah, then they go from just no offense whatsoever.
Yeah. All right. So that's where we're at after last week. Playoff rankings were about what you expect. Oregon, Ohio State at the top, Texas there, Penn State, Indiana's up there, Ole Miss is up there, all those SEC teams, Tennessee's up there. Miami loses last week, so they drop. That's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be Miami. Hopefully, Miami and SMU both went out, and it's winner gets in for the ACC championship. That'd be pretty cool. It's looking in the Big 12. It's looking like it could be BYU, Colorado. Colorado controls their own destiny. If
Dude.
Colorado wins out, they're in the Big 12 championship.
Dude, and then how about it's a little early for the NFL segment, but Colorado, all the success that he's had this year, Colorado went from the darling
Mm-hmm.
to this year seeming like they were getting on people's nerves, teams rooting for them, people rooting for them to lose to teams, and now it's like you said, they could be in the Big 12 championship, could be in the playoffs, and then the rumor of, well, the Giants should fire Dable, hire Dion, draft Shadur, and go from there. I'm going, man.
It will
Whatever.
be
I don't think Dion leaves college just yet, man. I
maybe
think
not. And
I think he enjoys building stuff. I think he
he
enjoys
said
the
he
build.
liked his job. He really likes the Colorado. It'd be interesting to see if he sticks around or how long he does with his
Yeah,
son and Travis Hunter leaving. We'll see how long Dion sticks around. But
with Mike
hats off.
Norvell basically above a volcano down there at Florida
Yeah,
State. It's so hot. So
looks like he's going to stay another year, but he fired his both coordinators.
yeah.
So, but that'd be cool. Good for Dion. Hats off to Colorado, what they've done. I mean, they were the worst team in Power Five
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago. Last year, they were better. And then this year, they've already made a bowl and they control their destiny to play for a conference championship. Um, keep an eye on that. And then, of course, the Big Ten. Next week, you get Indiana, Ohio State, but that's probably going to play itself out. Most people are expecting Ohio State to win that one. So you get a rematch
Mm-hmm.
with Ohio State. The SEC, your guess is as good as mine. There's so many
Yeah.
different scenarios. It's not even worth talking about any of them. There's so much football to be played. We'll see how the SEC unfolds. It could go like you got a team like Texas who's tied for first in the SEC. They could win the SEC or they could miss the 12-team playoff completely. I mean, that is how fine of a line it is between all those teams in the SEC right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be next couple of weeks are just going to be phenomenal football in the SEC. So let's talk about. We don't have a lot of ranked versus ranked matchups, but on this show, there's one big one. It's not ranked versus ranked, but it's the Gridiron Grind Bowl. Number 3, Texas.
Ranked in here, man. It's
Yeah.
ranked in the heart.
Number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah, that's right.
3, Texas travels to Fayetteville to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. This line opened up at 17, Jimmy. It's now down to 12. Arkansas plus 12 at home. It's 11 o'clock kickoff. That's got to favor the Horns. We were there 3 years ago in 21 at a night game. Texas was not ready for that. Arkansas just bullied them. Now Texas come in, way better football team. Arkansas is going to have their starting quarterback in Taylor Green. They're going to have the running back Jackson will be back. When I look at this game, what stands out to me is one, Texas is fortunate to get an 11 o'clock kick. Texas probably played their best offensive game last week against Florida. So I think the bye week did Texas good. Maybe they're getting things cooking. Quinn Ewers did look a lot better last week. He had 300 yards, 5 touchdowns in the first half against Florida. When I look at this matchup, Arkansas is like ranked 125 in the country in pass defense. Texas is in the top 10. So that's a huge advantage for Texas. And Texas is really, their MO lately has been throw the ball early, get the lead, and then run the ball late. So that could be a huge advantage for Texas. I will say on the other side of the ball, I was looking and I was talking with somebody earlier this week. This might be the most complete offense Texas has faced all season. They got a dual threat quarterback. It's the first dual threat quarterback they've faced. And Taylor Green, he can get you. I mean, he's shown some teams that he can get you, like Tennessee. He's put up some big numbers. So facing a dual threat, but also with the balance of the running game. Arkansas's got some receivers. They also got a good running game. So this might be, I know they've played Georgia, but Georgia's offense just something's off with them. And Beck had 3 interceptions against Texas. But the one thing that stands out, Arkansas kills teams with their explosive plays, mainly with Green because he can dual threat and you can call a pass play and then he can take off and run. But Texas' defense is number 1 in the country and not allowing explosive plays. Explosive plays are runs over 10 yards or more or a pass play of 15 yards or more. Texas's defense is number one in the country in limiting those plays. In the two games that Texas has played that's been close was against Georgia, where they lost by 2 touchdowns, and then against Vanderbilt, where they won by 3. It was turnovers. Texas turned the football over. It allowed the other team offense to set up scoring drives and plus territory. Outside of that, teams have not been able to move the ball on Texas. So I think turnover is the key here. If Texas doesn't turn the ball over, all advantages point on paper and in the past so far this season to Texas. That's my take on the game. I'm really going to be watching the turnovers. And if Arkansas can blitz and put enough pressure on Quinn Ewers to get him to turn the ball over, that's the key to the game for me. I'll turn it over to you, Jimmy. Give us your analysis of the Gridiron Grind Bowl, Texas, Arkansas.
This is a game that I think Sark's going to have him. I think he's going to have him prepared for. I think Texas is the better team. I don't think there's any question there. But again, the SEC, we talked about Arkansas's middle to middle bottom in the SEC this year, but they're still one of those teams that you really wouldn't want to play week in and week out, just because, as Tennessee, you're the better team, and all of a sudden you just get beat. I think it comes down to, like you said, turnovers. The state of Arkansas is ready for this game the last time. This means so much to the state of Arkansas that I think the Hog players are going to know. I mean, last time when we played Texas, that year going into it, when it was on the schedule, everybody's telling all the players, you got to beat Texas. You got to beat Texas. That week, they're bringing in some of the old players from the Southwest Conference. Some of those 64 national championship guys are still in the area. Business owner, they're bringing them in and talking. So it's a huge emphasis about how important this game is. And last time it didn't seem that important to Texas. Sark is Sark's also got higher hopes, higher goals than just beating Arkansas. But I think this has to be a point of emphasis for Texas about this needs to be treated like OU. This has got to be like a true rivalry game. Because 11 o'clock, I agree with you. I think that favors Texas. But the Reynolds Razorback Stadium is going to be rocking. They're going to be ready. I mean, everybody, whether Texas is number 3 in the nation or number 300, right? Everybody gives it their all. It's the Super Bowl to beat a team like Texas. And I think Arkansas comes out and they're really, like you said, I think we're going to see what Petrino's got in the book. I think he empties it probably. Green and Jackson, their health, that's the thing. I think they're going to be the difference makers in the game. Especially Green, his ability to extend plays and to move the chains with his feet and be able to find guys like Armstrong and the tight end has down the field, like you said, explosive plays, not force too much. And that also kind of goes back to Petrino, like, let's not get real cute. We don't need a bunch of fakes. If you're going to beat Texas, you're going to have to keep the ball out of the offense's hands. Drive down the field, eat up clock, get points. Field goals aren't going to beat the Longhorns, not this year. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you got to figure out a way to do what Georgia did to this offensive line. One of the best offensive lines in the country, Longhorns. You've got to put pressure on Quinn Ewers to get him, like in the Red River Shootout. His feet aren't set. He's sailing it high. He's not very accurate, turning the ball over, like you said. That, to me, is second biggest key in the game is to help make Texas turn the ball over and help yourself with field position. Because Texas' defense is good. They fly to the ball. They're quick. Like you said, I don't know if Arkansas has the speed to really get behind Texas and create some of these big plays. It's probably going to be run after the catch type stuff, missed tackles. But if they can figure out a way to, like I said, really keep that offense on the side and, kind of get Quinn behind the 8 ball. So he's coming out kind of firing, trying to force things. That's, to me, my key for the game. But if Arkansas isn't able to move the ball because Texas's defense has got them figured out, sniffed out from the beginning, it's going to be a long day for Arkansas. And you're going to see the stadium start to clear out, which is kind of sad because this is a fantastic rivalry. And I know one you and I are excited about, but the state, like I said, the state of Arkansas is super excited about it. It's one of those I'd like to see build back up, not just because we're both a part of it, but just to, the history behind it. Our parent, everybody's parents and stuff that they said, oh man, I can remember Arkansas and Texas was a big deal. And, you know, it just, I'm excited for the game. I'm not too optimistic for the Hogs, but I wasn't optimistic against Tennessee either, the last UT
Yeah.
Orange team we played. So we'll see. I do have a bet on the game, but
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be very exciting. I think it's going to be. I like you said. I think Arkansas comes out ready to go. I think it'll be a close game first half for sure. I think Arkansas will throw some heavy punches, and we'll see how Texas respond. I agree. The key for Arkansas is to put pressure on Quinn Ewers. That has been how you get to Texas. Confuse the offensive line, who has been confused a few times. They were confused against Georgia the whole game. Vanderbilt got him a couple times. Florida got him early, but Texas made an adjustment. They only allowed 1 sack, and that was on the first drive. But you got to get to Ewers, and the dude just doesn't like contact. He's not comfortable with pressure in the pocket, and that's how you get to him. And then he turns the ball over, and you put your team in business. And that's really been the only way Texas defense has given up plays, is when you have a short field off of turnovers. So I think those are the big keys to the game. I'm shocked the line's down to 12, to be honest. Opened up at 17 or 16 and a half. Now it's all the way down to 12. At 17, I would have jumped all over Arkansas. 17 is too much in Arkansas for this type of game. If it somehow gets to single digits, I think you could look the other way and maybe go Texas. Right now, it'd be a no play for me. I could see Texas winning this by 14, or I could see either team winning by 3. That's where I'm at. Gun to my head, I'd probably have to take Arkansas plus 12. Texas could win by 10, but or Arkansas could upset them. It's tough for me to think Texas blows them out. It's possible, but it's hard to think about that given the nature of the rivalry and it's being in Arkansas. 2 other ranked versus ranked games this weekend. One game no one really cares about. Number 23 Missouri at number 21 South Carolina. South Carolina favored by 14. I've been down on Missouri all year. After about first 3 or 4 weeks, I haven't seen much out of them. And South Carolina looks to be getting a lot better. Big game, the night game, number 7 Tennessee at number 12 Georgia. Georgia favored by 9.5. Now, Tennessee quarterback Nico Amalava is questionable. So I think that might have part to do with the line. Georgia, again, didn't look good last week against Ole Miss. Does Georgia bounce back at home? I would like to think they do. I just don't know if they cover that number. But it should be a good game. Tennessee still only 1 loss in the SEC, tied for first with Texas and Texas A&M. So it's a big game for Tennessee. It's a big game for Georgia. Georgia wants to stay in the 12-team playoff. They got to have this game.
You're exactly right. They got to have it. Like you said, need to bounce back, but I've got to play on this one too. Also, Georgia without their leading rusher ETN, he will not be playing this weekend, so that's something to look at. Injuries on both sides of the ball. Like you said, 9.5 could get to 10, could go down. I just
Right.
like you said, Georgia has got to win. This is a must-win game for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee beats them. Then I think Georgia's effectively out of the SEC. That means for sure out of the playoff. And Tennessee still Tennessee's got to win up for a chance. Hope for some upsets, but must-win game for Georgia.
Definitely is. All right, we move to the next segment. The NFL. Eagles just dominate the Cowboys. Pretty embarrassing effort by the Cowboys, but one. If you listen to the show, we expected last week. It's just not. I don't know how much it's worth watching the Cowboys the rest of the season. They play the Houston Texans Monday Night Football in Dallas. It doesn't matter. Cowboys haven't won a home game since Detroit Lions last year in December. They've lost
What a game, though.
Yeah, they've lost 5 home games in a row. If you count the playoff game of the Packers, and then they've lost every home game this year. They host the Texans. Texans are off a huge loss to the Lions. Lions came back on. Jared Goff threw 5 picks and still found a way to win that football game. Texans, I think, are going to be a little ticked off. They probably come in with an edge. In-state game. I just don't see the Cowboys putting up much of a fight. I do have a play in this one. The Cowboys have shown me nothing to say that they're going to put up a fight in this game on Monday night.
I agree. I got to play this one as well when it comes to it. And you're right. D'Amico Ryans, he was my preseason pick for coach of the year. Looks like that's probably going to go to Dan Campbell. Deserving. Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, golly,
absolutely.
either one of those guys. I just thought the Texans would be better on offense. Had some injuries, but it is what it is. But you're right, Trey. 5 picks. When your defense forces 5 interceptions from the opposing quarterback, I mean, if on paper you'd go, oh well, this team blew them out, or at
Yeah.
least won the game. Maybe they had 5 rushing touchdowns, goal on 5, but there's no way that team lost. No, they lost the game. So I think Ryans is going to have the Texans ready to rock. I think they're going to be ticked off, and let's not forget like you said, we play them, and this is kind of an in-state rivalry game. The first time, heck, their first game in existence, they beat us.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that.
there's a rivalry there, and I think they're tired. I think the nation's tired of hearing about the Cowboys, America's team, this and that. So we get everybody's best game, and I expect we get the Texans' best game too. And like you said, it just is it worth watching? I don't. I'll watch. I don't know if I'll watch as intently as
No.
I
Yeah.
would if we were 8-1 playing the Texans, but I'll still watch. But yeah, it's just rough, man. It's rough. And we have these bad seasons, and then it makes you go, man, is this what Cleveland,
No,
the
man.
Raiders, like how they feel? How the Jaguars, is this how they feel all the time? The Panthers, the Giants, like this is terrible.
It's
Like this is terrible, and this is pretty
because
rare
even when
for
we were
us.
8-8, at least we still had a chance at the playoffs. This team has
Yeah,
zero chance at the playoffs. I
yeah.
mean, it's been
Like
a while. I mean, I guess there was a few years ago when Dak was hurt, but we still had a chance at the playoffs. We had all the way to like week 16 or week 17, we still had a chance at the
yeah.
playoffs. I can't tell you the last time where we've just been halfway through the season completely out of it, no chance making the playoffs.
It'd
I mean,
probably be when we drafted Dak, that year before we drafted Dak, when we went, what, 4-12?
that's right, when Romo got hurt the year
That's
before.
probably got to be it. That's the last time. And of course, you look what
That was
happened, right? We
2015, 2015.
yeah. So every 10 years we have really terrible season. Okay, that's good. I can set my calendar to it. But yeah, like for years, like you said, we're 8-8, 8-8, eight and
We
eight,
still
eight
had
and
a
eight. We're
chance at the playoffs.
yeah,
The
and it's
division
still
was
worth
bad,
watching.
you know? It's just
Oh,
I mean, not being able to look forward to football on Sundays to root for the Cowboys has just been it sucks.
yeah.
Jerry Jones got to fix this. This is bad. It's bad. But there is a big NFL game Sunday afternoon. The undefeated Kansas City Chiefs are at the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are favored by 2 in Buffalo. A little surprising given the Chiefs are undefeated, but the Chiefs have played so many close games, one-score games. They just beat the Broncos, had a block a kick to win the game.
Yeah.
Broncos make that kick. It was like a 40-yarder, too. It wasn't far. Broncos make it, they win. Somehow the Chiefs find a way to win every week. They're still undefeated. Like I said, we're going to wait till if they can stay undefeated at Thanksgiving. I don't know. A lot of people are picking this as the week, but I have a play in this game. But, I mean, has Buffalo really ever beat Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes? I don't know if they have.
I don't know if they have. If they're going to do it, this is going to be it. And
Come
the
on.
Chiefs are going to drop one. My prediction: the Chiefs will probably drop one during the season, and everybody will panic. And then Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will probably hoist the trophy as the first three-peat Super Bowl champion in NFL history. If not, I could see him getting to the game and losing to Detroit. But yeah, I mean, this is like you said, a lot of people picking this to be the week. Buffalo has looked good on offense, looked like they figured it out, turned it on, and no better time than when you're facing an undefeated team and a team like you said, probably you're definitely going to see in the playoffs, maybe AFC Championship game, and yeah, that's the big game. I'm with you. That's the game of the week.
On for that one. All right, let's get to our last segment. It's our picks. We've had back-to-back losing weeks. We got to turn that around. We're still just below 500, both of us, so we're right there. We got a chance. I only have 3 college games. I don't really like the college slate, but I have 6 NFL games.
Go big or go home, man. I got 5 and 5.
5 and 5. All right. All right. Okay. Well, I'll start. two of my college games are on Friday night. So we're recording a day later, so this is going to come out Friday morning. So my first one is Friday night. Colorado State hosting Wyoming. Colorado State's been really good, and I've made a little money on them this year. I'm going to take them again. They're hosting Wyoming, who's not good this year. Colorado State minus 9.5 at home against Wyoming. And Colorado State, if they went out, they would play Boise State in the Mountain West Championship, not UNLV. So they control their own destiny as far as conference championship. I think they get it done at home and win big over Wyoming Friday night. Colorado State Rams minus 9.5.
I like it. I almost took that one. That one jumped out at me, but I said I'll stay away from it. Michigan State at Illinois. Illinois -2. I think Michigan State played its best game of the year against Ohio State, got out 10-0, and then Indiana, excuse me.
Yeah.
And Indiana rattled off 47 straight. Give me Illinois -2. I think
I like
Illinois is
this
a better
game. I like Illinois a lot. In that one, I agree with you. Illinois is a better football team. All right, my next game is on Friday night. I've really stayed away from over-unders a lot this year, but I'm going to jump on an over, and it's a big over. It's North Texas at UTSA, over 72.5. North Texas has been putting up points all season long, except for Army. Army held them to like 3 or 6. I don't know. Outside of that, North Texas has put up a lot of points. UTSA made a quarterback change. They've been playing better on offense. This number's high. I think it's high for a reason. I mean, 38-35 gets you home. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams might even make it into the 40s. So I'm taking UNT at UTSA over 72.5.
I like it. Boston College SMU over 53. It's in Dallas. The Ponies are riding, man. They're a great team. They're a good team. You do not want to play them. They win on the road, they win at home, and they score points doing it. So give me SMU over 53. SMU Boston College over 53.
Also of note, Boston College quarterback, they made a quarterback change last week and they ended up beating Syracuse. Well, so they show up to practice and the dude says, I'm leaving the team. The starting quarterback, been the starting quarterback all season for BC. We're in this transfer portal era. It's just terrible. Dude just quits on the team. I think now he's going to come back. I don't think he's going to start. But just of note, I could see SMU just blowing them out. What is the spread, like 20?
19 or something like that, I thought I saw. But yeah, I just went.
SMU could cover that themselves.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at.
Especially with turmoil on the other side of the field.
Yep. My last college game, I got Arizona State at Kansas State. Something's off with Kansas State. It's in Manhattan, the Little Apple, but it's more than a touchdown. So Arizona State plus 7.5. Arizona State hanging around the top of the Big 12. Kenny Dillingham, that team they've played some hard football, lost a couple nail biters. I think they can keep this within a touchdown. So I'm going to take Arizona State plus 7.5.
I like it. I like it. Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia without their leading rusher, ETN. Tennessee's quarterback, Nico Amalama is a little hurt. Tennessee plus 10. Georgia's offense is broken. Carson Beck, he's thrown more interceptions this year than he ever has.
Yep.
I think Tennessee still fighting for something. It's a must-win for Georgia, which means it's going to put pressure on Beck, which, as he's shown this year, when he's got pressure on him, he turns the ball over. So give me Tennessee by the 0.5 point. You can wait to see if it gets to 10, but either way, Tennessee plus 10.
My recommendation would go ahead and take it, because if they announce that Nico's playing, that's going to come down to like 7.5 or 8. And if they announce he's not playing, I don't think it goes up. Might get up to 10, but I think you risk it if he ends up playing. So I'd go ahead and take it.
Take it for now by the 0.5 point, but Tennessee plus 10, I think great play, even if you have to buy the 0.5 point.
All right, you got 2 more college games. I'll let you go ahead and get to those.
Sure do. Kansas and BYU. BYU -2. Kansas taking care of business last week, but BYU top of the Big 12. They're going to stay there. And 2, Vegas loves 2 and 4 with BYU this year. BYU covers all of them but one game, and I think they get it done this game as well. So give me BYU -2. And the Gridiron Grind Bowl, Texas on the road against the Arkansas Razorbacks, over 57.
All right.
I think if Arkansas gets any offense going whatsoever, I think Texas is going to have to match it, obviously, to win the game. And there's probably going to be a little bit from, hey, last time we played up here, you guys kind of rubbed our noses in it. I could also see Arkansas getting behind early and then just all manner of terrible things happening, similar to what happened to Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. Both those games, I believe, went over. So give me the over 57 here as well. Texas and Arkansas.
All right. There you go. Texas, Arkansas over 57. It's a little, that's saying it does seem a little low that it's under 60, But
Seem a little low considering the offensive power that each team has.
Yeah. That's just saying. I think this is the most dynamic offense Texas has faced all season. Because also, I don't know how Texas is going to look against a running quarterback. They haven't faced it all year. So that could give them fits, and Arkansas could score more points than Texas giving up all year. They gave up 30 to Georgia, but that was because the offense had 4 turnovers in plus territory. Okay, I got 6 NFL bets. I got 2 in the same game. Rivalry game in the AFC North. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Baltimore Ravens. I like the Steelers plus 3 at home, and I also like the Ravens Steelers under 49. I think they hold them. I think it's a tight, low-scoring game. I think the Steelers can at least keep it within 3, and I like the under 49.
I'm sorry, TK. Ravens -3 here.
Ooh, all right, we're going against. We went head-to-head last week, and I won. The Buccaneers covered against the Niners. So I'm 1-0 head-to-head so far.
That's right. I'm about to even that up. Mike Tomlin talking a little smack about Dante Johnson.
He
going
did.
over there.
He definitely
the
did.
Ravens. The Ravens, this is a game Baltimore needs to win. Everybody's talking about Chiefs and Bills, and I think the Ravens take care of business and get their name back in the conversation, at the front of the conversation with the Chiefs and Bills. So give me Ravens -3.
All right, my next game, Packers on the road against the Bears. The Bears fired their offensive coordinator. I think there's a little infighting there, a little turmoil. Lost a couple games in a row. I think like 3 in a row. I like the Packers to cover. I think they win by at least a touchdown. Packers -5.5 at the Bears.
I like it. My next one, Colts and Jets. Jets, we know what dumpster fire that is since they fired Robert Saleh.
Yep.
Colts going back to Anthony Richardson, they've announced. Well, you know what that means. Low offensive numbers for the Colts.
Yep.
The Jets, they still have all the players that made up that great defense. They just happened to ignorantly fire the guy that was in charge of it all. But I still think under 44 in this game. Colts, I don't think will score enough points. I don't think the Jets will either. So give me under 44, Colts and Jets.
All right, I like that bet. Okay, my next was Chiefs, Bills. Like I said, I don't know if the Bills have ever beat Patrick Mahomes. I'm just going to bet on the Chiefs until they lose. And maybe this is the week they do it, but I'm going to take you're giving me the two-time defending Super Bowl champs, and they're undefeated this year. And as many close games they've played, they're going to be comfortable in a close game, and you're giving me points. I got to take them. I'm going Chiefs +2 at the Bills.
Interesting note, Butterker's on the IR.
Yeah,
Chiefs put the kicker on the IR, but
that can hurt.
I'm going to play in this game over 45. Bills offense has been clicking, and I think the Chiefs are going to push for points because they're going, hey, guys, we're working out a new kick. We're going to have a new kicker. We can't settle for 3. We got to have 6. True. And that, to me, is recipe for an over. So give me over 45 in this game, Bills and Chiefs.
I like your philosophy there. They might go for where they kick a field goal with Butker, one of the best kickers in the league. They might just go for it instead. Yep. Sunday night game, Bengals at the Chargers. I think the Bengals are about to get hot and hit their stride. Bengals are getting points. I take the Bengals +1.5 at the Chargers.
That one's on my short list. I might take that one offline, but officially I didn't do it because I went with this game instead. Seahawks 49ers under 49. McCaffrey's back. It's about the only thing the 49ers is him and Kittle. The Seahawks, they've got some injuries too, but I think under 49 in this game is my play. I think defense, both teams, 49ers, good defense. Seahawks defense is okay, and a lot of just back and forth. I think we may see pretty low scoring game.
All right. My last one, Monday Night Football. Texans are only -7 against the Cowboys. Are you kidding me? Give me the Texans -7 in a blowout. This game won't be competitive. Texans all day. Texans -7.
I agree with you. I don't think it'll be competitive. That's why I took the under. Give me under 43. I think we saw Dallas could do a little bit better than what they did last week. But I mean, we're kicking field goals. Poor Cooper Rush. I really like the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an NFL starter, but I think he is one of the best backups in the league, and he's underthrowing balls. I just don't think Dallas can put enough points on the board. We still have an emphasis on the run, just letting that clock eat. So give me under 43 Texans and Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys do enough. I don't think they get over 17.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Here's our picks. Grind rundown. Jimmy's picks. He's got Illinois -2 over Michigan State. Boston College SMU over 53. Tennessee +10 against Georgia. BYU -2. Texas Arkansas over 57. Jimmy's NFL bets. Ravens -3. Colts and Jets under 44. Chiefs Bills over 45. Seahawks 49ers under 49. Texans Cowboys under 43. Myself, Creta 3, I got Colorado State -9.5 against Wyoming Friday night. Also Friday night, UNT, UTSA over 72.5. And then I got Arizona State +7.5. My NFL bets, Steelers +3, Ravens and Steelers under 49, Packers -5.5, Chiefs +2, Bengals +1.5, Texans -7. That's our show. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and another week in the books, Jimmy.
I got a quick one.
Okay.
Before we run out of time. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Tyson +190. What do you think happens here?
I think Iron Mike, if it's real, Iron Mike might knock him out.
So that is my question there. That's kind of my deal too. If it's real, I think Tyson knocks him out. If it looks like all these others say, Jake Paul wins. He's